What's going on, YouTube? It is your girl, Lauren Finesse, and we are back for another episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 10, episode 8, Pride and Pettiness. Child, okay. There was a lot to unpack here, but not too much. All right, y'all. So we're going to pick up right where we left off last week at this messy Pride party that Ashley's having while she's dressed up like a Ken doll. Ashley's so weird. So it picks up where it left off, where Kiana is trying and attempting her best to just have a moment. I'm not understanding, Kiana. Why are you always fishing for a moment? It fails every single time. Like, she has no shame. So she's telling Monique, like, oh yeah, I thought you knew Stacy. I thought you guys said you guys knew each other. And so Giselle was like, oh no, that was Chris. And so Kiana's like, oh, I just heard Samuels. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Girl, you knew. You knew, bitch. I can't stand Kiana. She knew. So anyway, she was being messy. And so Wendy and Stacy was like standing next to each other. And they're just like, okay. And so Wendy was like, oh, that's messy. And I'm so glad that Monique didn't even feed into it. Monique was like, look, I've been divorced for damn near 2 years. So I don't give a fuck. So I was like, thank you. Monique is like, why are y'all trying? Because this is the thing. Monique is seasoned enough now. She knows how the housewife game goes. She was on Love and Marriage DC. She knows how to play the game. So she didn't react. She's like, I'm not going to give y'all what y'all might have wanted from me. And I respect that, right? Because we hate to see the ladies turn into monsters, dare I say, when the cameras turn on. Anyway. So then here come Ashley bringing up Stacy's business, Shayo. And, the name, it felt uncomfortable to me. Ashley, shut your... Ashley's so damn fake. What I would have been like, I don't care. But once again, Stacy does not give the ladies the energy that they're looking for. So it turned into just like a blah. It also fell flat. Ashley is trash. But then... I think it was Wendy checked Stacy because it was Tia. She checked Stacy. She wasn't even pronouncing the word correctly. I'm just like, Stacy, I'm trying to be on your side, girl. You got to at least be able to pronounce the word. My goodness. These go back and they sit down and I think they're going to have lunch. And they're all sitting around with Monique and, they're just talking about like, how has she been? How is her mental? What's going on with her? They're just catching up. And so she's like telling them about, her problems with Chris and why she left and, the stuff that she had going on or whatever. And she tells the story about how she knew it was time. I think it was Tia that asked her, like, how did you really know it was time? And she's like, oh, he wanted to have sex and he was treating me like a piece of meat, whatever, right? And they were like, wow, okay. She got real graphic and she was like, oh, the next day I told him he will never enter me again. I was like, okay, Monique. She's like, it was super dramatic, but it sounded good at the table. I'll give her that. And then of course they do a flashback and Chris is just like, duh. I don't know. He just always seemed big and goofy. I actually could see him and Stacey. They actually might make a cute couple. We'll put a pin in that because we'll know what's going to happen. Anyway, I think Monique and Giselle they have like an understanding. Her and Wendy have an understanding. And then the rest of the ladies, she really doesn't know. So next we pick up with Angel and her husband, what's his name? Bobby, right? They are looking at this mansion. I think it was like 3.2 million. Really spacious, really nice house. She wants to fix up their place in Maryland to kind of like mimic the nice place that they have. I think it's like in Colorado or something, or is it in Denver? I think so. It's in Denver. So anyway, she definitely has a knack for design. I wish Angel would have made that her personality on the show instead of trying to beef with Wendy. Like, we would have loved Angel, the interior decorator. You know what I mean? Like, we really would have loved that. You could have gotten some sponsorships. Like, baby, you weren't even thinking about what this should have been because you are obsessed with Wendy. And it's really... So anyway, after they're touring the house, she sits down to talk to her husband outside. Let me also take a step back, and I'm going to put this in. Look at this terrible ass dress that she's wearing. That dress is so ugly where it looks like it's a nightgown over, like, it's ugly. It's ugly. And it's ugly. And then child, listen. I don't know. I see somebody online talking about she just wanted to show us that she had a Birkin. And I agree because, girl, why was the Birkin so like folded in? Like it's been in a box or something, which maybe it have been in a box. Okay, let the leather breathe a little bit. I don't know. But why was it so bent up? It just wasn't giving. Okay, unless maybe you had it for a long time. I don't know. Look, I ain't got a Birkin. I'm just saying it looked a little out of shape. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, I don't know. Angel is a weird one. She, again, like I said, she's telling her husband that she still has smoke with Wendy about the catfish comment, but they keep going back and playing it. Girl, that's not what happened. You have all of this beef, all of this smoke for Wendy. Meanwhile, Giselle is the person that called this out, babes. It's like, you will never beat the claims. You'll never beat the allegations. It doesn't even matter. Anyway, we get another scene with, oh my God, Kiana. Kiana is so exhausting. I think it's Kiana, Ashley, Giselle, and I think Tia. And Kiana brings up how she talked to Cookie. Child, y'all know Cookie Monster. That lady looks such a mess. Like, ma'am, you look a mess on TV with these ladies. And it's like, I just hate that for you, Auntie. I really do. I really do. Because it looks terrible. Cookie, listen, let me move on. So Kiana brings up how she talked to Cookie, and Cookie said that Chris called. She was like, oh, I was on the phone with her and she was getting a call on the other line and it was Chris Samuels. Girl, so Chris just randomly calling you while you on the phone with Kiana? Girl, why every time you talk about Chris, it's him calling you? Because you said that in the other. So this is what I'm thinking. Cookie must like Chris. Because that's the one that you really need to keep your eye on. And that's exactly why Monique don't like her. Because Monique didn't say it in her. No, bitch, you want my husband. Yeah. I done already figured it out. So, Cookie, you got ulterior motives. Yeah, you got ulterior motives, girl. So anyway, they saying, oh yeah, Cookie said this and that. And so Giselle is like, well, Cookie is also going to be at my not my grand opening, but my celebration. So we know that Giselle and Rhop have their podcast, Reasonably Shady, and it got like NAACP award nomination. I don't know if they won, but they got the nomination or they won. And they reached 10 million listens. Is it views? I don't know, whatever. I wasn't paying that much attention. Sorry, y'all. So anyway, they're having a party for their podcast, reaching the 10 million milestone. And so she's like, yeah, Cookie's going to be there. And we're like, we really don't need Cookie to be there, but okay, cool. In the very next scene, we get Wendy sitting down with Monique. I actually really like this scene. Monique is seeming to be very genuine this time around. I was iffy at first because I was like, I don't know. But so far, she is giving me very much genuine energy with everyone, even though this conversation that she has with Wendy, you know, Wendy does bring up how Stacy is her friend because Stacy's name comes up again. I forgot what they were talking about, but Stacy's name comes up. And, you know, Wendy is like, you know, Stacy gets a bad rap, but she's a good person. You know, she's a good friend. And, you know, Monique is just like, well, I would watch her. But this is where we also hear, and mind you, I'm sure that came from like a little bug from Ashley, especially after the Pride event. Now, you know, she went on a date with your husband. I know you got your side eye on her. But Monique, you are correct in having your side eye on Cookie because that's the one that won't Chris. That's the one. Anyway, their scene was genuine. I thought it was nice how Wendy, you know, they spoke candidly like, look, I definitely reached out to you after the incident because, you know, you're my sister girl. You know, we may not be the best friends, but on this show, you are a sister girl to me. And I appreciated that. And Monique let Wendy know, hey, you were actually the first person to reach out. She was like, wow, I didn't know that. And, you know, they just had a real genuine conversation, come to like some common ground. And it was a cute scene. We also hear that the reason why Monique got her good eye on Cookie is because Monique had an event with Chuck Brown, and Cookie was saying that was her dad, and that man said he don't know, he don't know that lady. Yeah, Cookie definitely is giving stalker tease. You not ready for Housewives though? You not ready? Okay. What next? Oh yeah. So then we got a scene with Timu, Stacy, and Tia, and they're at Arabawa. I hate the way Stacy says her daughter's name. Arabawa. They're at her swim meet, and they're just hanging out or whatever. And so Stacy, I think this is the thing. Stacy was trying to make an attempt to connect with Tia because deep in Stacy's mind, she really believes that she is like, look, she is Nigerian to her core, and that is her Nigerian sister, just like Wendy is her Nigerian sister. And you can't tell Stacy no different. So I'm gonna just let her have it. So she tried to make a connection with Tia, but the problem is Timo is awkward. You're at your daughter's swimming event. You're trying to get to know her, but it's also like the cameras are there. There's a lot going on. And so now it turns into a scene versus something organic that maybe actually just naturally happened. You know what I mean? And then in one point of the conversation, Tia invites them out to go to dinner, and Timo's like, oh, I need to leave. And then Stacy says something like, oh, he won't be back till next Wednesday, whatever. They come up with a story because Timo is awkward and he doesn't want to hang around the ladies. And, listen, this is probably his first time on camera. There have been plenty of husbands and boyfriends, people in general on reality TV, and it's not their thing. We just went through this last season, remember, with Greg, where he didn't want to film with Kiana. And we're going to get to her big head ass in a minute. So anyway, the scene was blah, but where Stacy dropped the ball at, I know it was genuine and she was trying to connect, but it was just too much going on and it was awkward and it just came off as a scene. And so I know she tried, but try again. So anyway, Giselle is putting together the party. We find out that Robin isn't going to come to the event because she doesn't like how she exited the show. Robin, girl, first of all, I'm glad that there is shame, okay? Bring back shame. I'm actually glad that there is some shamefulness in your body and you don't want to come back right now. That's a good sign. That means that you are somewhere working on yourself and you are not thirsty for camera time. And I could be reading too deep into it, okay? But that's the vibe I'm getting from that. So shout out to, we're going to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. We'll give everyone multiple chances. To me, sounds like maybe Rhop is actually, I don't know. I can't give her too much credit. Let me slow down. So anyway, now it's the next day, it's the dinner. And so now Tia and her husband, I think his name is also Rhop. It's Rhop. I believe it's Rhop. And then you have Wendy and, of course, Eddie. And the couples, they just look so good together. Like, this was such a good scene. I was like, yes, married couple dinner times. It just was, I liked it. I don't know. It was given sentimental to me. I just really liked the vibes. Now, the two of them are also trying to connect on because they are both Nigerian. Now, Wendy is actually from Nigeria, born in Nigeria. Well, we knew she was from Nigeria, but Wendy was actually born in Nigeria, and we found out that Eddie is not. So that's so funny. But anyway, they just get to talk and they catch up, blah, blah, blah. Rhop is from Chicago like me. Shout out to Rhop. I found it I found it odd that Tia has never been to Chicago. That's very interesting to me, but okay. She's probably deathly afraid. It's not that bad, babes. It's bad, but okay. Anyway. Somehow Stacy comes up in the conversation. I'm honestly not even sure what I forget. Listen, y'all watched it. So Stacy's name comes up, right? And when Stacy's name comes up, Tia basically tells Wendy, I met Timu, and Stacy said that, I was the only person she felt safe enough to meet Timu. And Wendy was like, wait, what? Girl, I've been riding for you, Stacy, against all these girls. And you know what? It's so crazy because Wendy do be riding for the girls. Wendy do be riding for the girls that if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Right? And so one thing that we can say about Wendy is You may not like Wendy, but she is always fair. Like, Wendy has not been unfair. She has always been fair. So, anyway, Wendy say, oh, let me get Stacey on the phone because who she playing with. I said, okay, let's produce the scene. So they get Stacey on speaker. And, of course, Stacey is bullshitting. And it basically comes out like, because she's like, oh, Timu, he's leaving today. And Tia was like, you just said he was leaving yesterday. Now he coming back today. Whatever the story was. Stacey was lying. Timu was lying. He just didn't want to go to dinner with them. The problem, not the problem. The thing is, though, I think that Timu, Stacey, Wendy, Eddie, Tia, and Rhop, I think they actually could have had a nice, genuine dinner. I do. I really do. And so that's a bust that they didn't want to come out. But anyway, they catch Stacey up in their lies, and Tia's feeling away because it sounded like, oh no. Now Tia's feeling away because Stacey was like, Tia, I don't appreciate you trying to like cause chaos with me and Wendy. And Tia's like, girl, I'm not trying to cause chaos. I literally just repeated what you said. Like, I invited you to dinner as well. You know, it seems like they would have all been to dinner. So it's like, girl, you lied. It is what it is, Stacey. Again, Stacey is a liar. But these are just silly lies. I think she's just playing a game. I don't know. She's been on TV for a while. Stacey know what she's doing. All right, y'all. So we get to the party, and this part of this scene, when I tell you, this lady drains all the energy out of every single scene. Okay, and that's Angel. We'll get to her in a second, though. So anyway, the ladies get to Giselle's party. And Angel walks up, and let me just say this. I hate everyone's hair. Everyone's hair looked terrible. Giselle and that ponytail. Let's put the ponytail in. Baby, that pony. I said, what are we doing? What are we doing, Giselle? The two-tone ponytail. I hated her hair. Then we looked at Kiana. I hated this lace front. Kiana, the lace front. I'm looking at the outline. It's giving extra sketch. I hated it. Her hair looked a mess. Tia, her wig looked a mess. I just hated it. Then we pan over and Angel wants to have a conversation with Giselle. Angel's hair looked a mess. I mean, literally everybody's hair looked terrible. I think it was superhuman. Also, did y'all see Sharice in the back? Her hair also looked a mess. I mean, it just, anyway. Anyway, so here goes Angel. Hi, Giselle. I'm just with that, like, lisp thing. I don't know. She has something in her mouth. It annoys me. But she's like, hi, Giselle. I'm hoping that we can be cool because you apologize. And Giselle is looking at her like, let me tell you, the best thing about Angel thinking that she's violating Wendy while Giselle continues to violate her is the best part. It's because it's the person that you don't even see coming. You are so far up Giselle's ass, and Giselle is not even fazed by you. Meanwhile, you have all this energy for Wendy, and she's not fazed by you either. Girl, you have got to stop. Then she proceeds to say, thank you for apologizing. I want us to move forward, but I haven't addressed Wendy's part. Girl, what is Wendy's part? Well, there is no Wendy's part. It's just your part. And then she says, we have a mercurial relationship. And the mercurial means like volatile or a thievish person. So y'all have a volatile relationship? No, ma'am. Y'all don't. And then the other definition is a thieverous person. Now listen, I don't know, Angel. You might have clocked Wendy with that one. Because how you know? That was a little bit of foreshadowing. But still, Angel, girl, you're the worst. Angel is the worst. So anyway, Giselle pays her dust. It's funny. And there was a scene about somebody that brought in flowers, whatever. I kind of fast forwarded because I started like dozing off. And then I was going to watch it a second time. And I was like, no. Anywho, Wendy came in with them finger waves looking good. The finger waves look so good on Wendy. I ain't going to even say what I was going to say. So anyway, they're at the party and everybody starts to notice that Robin isn't there. Like, This is like a big event for your business. By the way, Robin, your business. You're so ashamed. Like I said, shout out to her for actually having shame. But one thing about it, two things for certain, I would never put shame ahead of a business decision or something that could help me and my family. I just think it didn't make sense that she didn't show up. So anyway, all of the ladies start to recognize that she isn't showing up. And why is everybody saying, is she on the couch? Now listen, first of all, her being on the couch is hilarious. But why did everybody keep saying that? It was just so funny. And then they were playing flashbacks of just Robin just being lazy. It was just so funny. Anyway, Rhop is still on the couch. That's not funny though, y'all, but it's funny. So anyway, the ladies go off to the side. I was trying to understand, was the memo for them to wear like shiny metallics? Because Wendy had on that green metallic, Tia had on that gold metallic. I don't know. Was that the memo? Or you guys were, oh, whatever. I didn't like it. Tia tries to explain to Stacy like, oh, I didn't appreciate how you kind of flipped out or changed the story when you were on the phone with Wendy the other day, when I was just trying to be genuine with you, but you're a liar. And Stacy is just listening, paying her dust as usual. Like, Stacy is a professional dust payer. So Tia gets to going off on Stacy, and she's doing all this rah-rah and was like, don't let the accent fool you, and I was going to get to know you. Child, Stacy started clapping, and then somebody else was clapping, and Stacy was like, yeah, give her a moment, yeah. Stacy is hilarious, like completely unfazed. Even though I understand why Tia felt away, it just was a lot, and Stacy paid it. So here go Kiana talking about, oh, I was on the phone with Cookie, and soon as we left the dinner, when Monique was being so gracious and telling us all of her business and sharing with us, Kiana, girl, why is it a flop and a chop every single time? Kiana, it never gives what you wanted to give. And then she's always, and then that's what I said, and I did this, the high pitched, it's like, Kiana, please shut up. So anyway, she gets to trying to going down this road with Stacy as it relates to Chris and, real friends show up for each other and all this. Wendy steps in and Wendy says, hold on. And Kiana's like, what? And Wendy's like, hold on, like, calm down. Like calm down, you little pit bull. She's like, listen to what I'm going to say. Monique already said she don't trust Cookie. She don't fuck with Cookie. So we're not going to have a conversation where we're talking about what Cookie said. And Cookie's standing right here and Monique isn't here. We're not going to do that. Love Wendy for that. Let's not talk about, we don't need to talk about anybody who isn't here. Let's put a pin in this conversation and we'll come back. So anyway, they get to, I guess, something happened. And basically everybody was starting to agree with Wendy. Like, yeah, we need to, have this conversation later when Monique is around. Because Cookie's standing there trying to get a moment with that greasy ass head. And girl, let me not. Oh, I can't. Cookie, oh, I ain't gonna even do it. It's too easy. It's too easy. So anyway, here go Kiana. She want to turn up some more. So anyway, they escort Cookie out because Stacy was pointing her finger in Cookie's face. And baby, Stacy was like, and what, baby? You and what? You ain't gonna do shit about it. So she was trying to get close to her because Cookie's like, you bet not punch your finger in my face again. And Stacy said, and will. Stacy is not afraid of you hoes. And she's towering over y'all. She really feel like, okay, well, I'll take you. I'll take you with these high heels on. Come on, Stacy. Well, Stacy's so funny. It was so funny too. The husbands were hanging out in one of the corners. And I thought that was so cute. Think about it. If, you marry somebody and this person played on one of your favorite sports teams and now y'all in the same inner circle. It's a cute mix. Anyway, here go Kiana. She get to going off on Stacy. And Stacy is like, Kiana, why are you so mad? Girl, are you okay? And here go Kiana with this tight ass lace front on, pulling her damn eyebrows all the way back with that knot that's in the front of her head. She just has a knot in her head. And that's not from the accident, baby. You always had a knot in the middle of your head like that. Anyway, the lace fronts aren't helping. She's gonna tell Stacy, I would never trust you around my husband. And Stacey said, "You don't have one." And child, the look on Wendy was everybody. Wendy was all of us. Wendy's expression. Wendy is giving us so many, like, if you're on Twitter or whatever, Wendy is giving us all the memes, okay? She's giving us all the memes for, like, she's trying to go down in, like, housewife history with the memes, okay? She's trying to go Nene level elite with the memes. Anyway, I thought it was so funny because Kiana, girl, you just got whacked again. Every time you keep trying to have a moment with Stacey, it fails. Leave that lady alone. I just don't understand, Kiana. Why won't you leave that lady alone? Ooh, child. All right, these housewives then tired me out. Please go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode. And if you haven't already, go back and watch my video from earlier this week about their worst, about those being the worst taglines ever. Let me know what y'all think about that video as well. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.